I wanted to work with a coach who provides coaching for product managers only.
Mm.
And your coaches are with you so that you get to the destination that you are looking for. Ultimately, it's a very strategic, very helpful, very kind of friendly environment, which basically helps you get your destination. And yeah, I think it was one of the great decisions which paid out well, because ultimately I was able to crack this particular job, but I also got two simultaneous offers, and I think I couldn't have done it without the help from coaches Sam, Shobit, as well as others who are there within this program.
Thank you, Anirban, for taking the time to speak with us today. I really appreciate it. I know you've just started the new job, so you've got a lot going on, and it's really helpful for us to catch up with exemplary alumni like yourself and just hear about their experience and in the program and what they got out of it. So I'm hoping we can chat for a few minutes here and just learn a little bit more about your experience in IJS and some of your key insights. With that, maybe you can tell folks a little bit about yourself.
Sure, Sam. Thanks for this opportunity. I think it was a great experience. But before that, as you said, tell me about yourself. So yeah, I've been a product manager for the last 7 years. Prior to joining my current company, which is a company which is in fraud detection through voice analysis. Prior to that, I was in Autodesk, working in as a product manager in Autodesk identity team. And then prior to that, I was in a company called Guideware. And prior to that, I was GE Digital. So for the last 7 years, I've been in product management, especially on the SaaS side. But something happened back in, I would say, September, where my position was offshored and I was left pending. And that's when I kind of thought to kind of join this particular program. And yeah, I think it was one of the great decisions which paid out well, because ultimately I was able to crack this particular job, but I also got two simultaneous offers, and I think I couldn't have done it without the help from coaches Sam, Shobit, as well as others who are there within this program. And also another thing which was very helpful from this particular program was the community, because I did develop a lot of great camaraderie with some of our cohorts, people who were similar to my boat or similar or were looking for some other opportunities, newer, great, bigger opportunities. So I was able to work with them, set up that relationship, and it actually all worked out well. So ultimately, yeah, it was a great decision I took back in August, and happy to answer any of your questions,
Yeah,
Sam.
I
And I'm
appreciate it.
really happy that we are doing this session today, because ultimately I did go through some lot of a job search is not an easy thing to do, especially in this
No.
crazy market. But yeah, all went well in this particular process.
I'm glad to hear that. And it was really exciting just to follow your journey and see the success that you gained. I had a couple of questions in mind, just to rewind a little bit so that folks who are earlier in their process just understand a bit more about, how it aligns with what they might be looking for, what they should expect in the experience. So I'd be curious, before the program, just understanding kind of like what your challenges were and maybe what frustrations you were experiencing in looking out and thinking like, wow, I'm gonna have to do this alone. Like what did that look like before any of this?
Yeah, just to give you some context, I have worked with previously, 3 years back when I changed to Autodesk, I had worked with a coach. And certainly that time I saw the benefit of, working with a coach, because, the coaches helps you cater your answers effectively, like what you're delivering.
Mm-hmm.
So when this particular time came, like when my position was going to be offshored, I had no hesitation that I need to work with a coach. Now, who that coach would be, that's something, decision I had to take. So last time I remember that coach was a generic coach, but this time I knew, because the job market was challenging. So I wanted to work with a coach who provides coaching for product managers only,
Mm.
and who are looking for, product management opportunities. So I would say initially I did had a conversation with Shobit as well as another person within the group to
Mhm.
help understand what are the things, how they strategize this whole process.
Mhm.
And after going through that, I was pretty much convinced that this would be the best fit for me. And also another thing which helped me is that this community thing which Shobit had mentioned during that time, that hey, this community will give you that necessary other bells and whistles that you're looking for. And I think that was another one of the important points that I considered to join this particular
Mhm.
coaching program.
Got it. Yeah. So, and you're not many folks have seen the benefit of coaches in the past. So it's great that you had already that experience and can see how it helps just help you prepare. But I'm glad you hit on the community piece because it really isn't fun to do this alone, like it's
Yeah,
stressful and so many challenges and setbacks. And so when you're going through it
yeah,
with a
yeah,
cohort that can,
yeah.
hold you
I mean,
accountable, challenge you. Yeah, it's
yeah,
great.
this time, like not having a job for whatever that time period is, obviously is challenging. And if you can share with someone who can show that empathy, and you can also show that empathy towards the other person who is also on the similar boat, I think that helps you motivate, keep be motivated, and you can discuss, strategize, not only with your coaches but with your cohorts as well. Always, it I mean, more things, such things helps you,
Mhm.
because I think mindset is a very important thing,
Mhm.
which I think we will be talking about, as Shobit also talks about, the keeping a very positive mindset is very important.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good transition because I was curious if you might share for folks watching this video, maybe some early insights, some early aha moments as you dove into our work together. So we're getting started and you're in the program and been in it for a little bit of time. So what are some early insights?
Yeah, early insights, as I mentioned, is that keeping or maintaining a positive mindset is crucial, because
Mm,
there'll be good days and bad days. One day you will have a flawless interview, another day you won't have a flawless interview, and it could be very much like you had a flawless interview and still you get a negative feedback
mm,
from the recruiter or from your hiring manager or whoever it is. So keeping that mindset is very important. So some of the strategies that Shobit had mentioned, that hey, keep doing that, keeping that positive mindset on a daily basis, make it a habit, I think is very important. And I think I've still continued that even after getting this particular job. That is
mm,
one side. Another thing is that sometimes as product managers, because when we are deep into our jobs, we don't focus on learning what
mm,
others are saying. I think some of the the books like Shobit kind of introduced, especially say, I had never read this book, like, which is Marty Keegan's Inspired, and
mm,
then
mhm,
watching some of the the blogs like Lenny's blogs and Strategy, so forth and so on. I think reading those also helped me, because obviously you're getting in so much of input from all these blogs and videos and all. But what it helped me was that when I'm communicating to my hiring manager or to the recruiter, somehow, some way or the other, I got used to the vocabulary, because those are some of the vocabularies that you
right.
need to use if you want to stand out as the best candidate. So I think that was some of those insights I would like to call out, which definitely
Mhm.
during this process.
That's awesome. And I know we don't have time to go into all the mindset practices, and I'm glad that those are a huge benefit in all the kind of best practices and resources and trainings and things like that. I'm curious, maybe in addition, like as you were landing your new gig, if you could speak a little bit about like how did you apply the IGS trainings? Like maybe where did those come up? Like where did those play in the interviews, in the interview stages,
Yeah, I think
or even before? Yeah, or even in landing it. Yeah.
the initial strategy session which I had with Shobit. So Shobit had, based on my experience, we had come to a common path that hey, these are some of the the positions that I'm going to look for. After that, Shobit and Sam, you have some of those recorded videos, like how you approach a recruiter call, then how you approach a hiring manager's call, like what are
Mhm.
they looking for, or things like that is something I try to follow. Then if it's a behavioral interview, right? How do you prepare yourself? Like, how do you practice? So I think those are very much explained during during this whole session, which I try to follow. And I would say another thing is that there's no shortcut to it, right? You have to put in your effort to get
Right.
good at it. And especially the market, which was or it's still rather challenging, you
Yeah.
have to put that effort, right, to stand out as a candidate. Yeah, so yeah, these are some of the things. Also, another thing I think which really helped, which is like how you apply to potential, or the jobs that you're interested. I think again, I would say that as you guys mentioned multiple times, reach out through some connection, because I think this particular job also I got, it was through connection, only through my LinkedIn connection. I reached out to those folks, to at least so that they considered me for this particular opportunity. So I think
Yeah.
building those meaningful connections, reaching out to the hiring managers once you are interested in the job, and persisting it, right,
Right.
continuously, is something
Right.
is very important. And yeah, those were some of the insights I would say, which you guys communicated to us.
Yeah. And I saw, I mean, you know, the effort input versus the outcome that you receive. I think one thing you and I had spoken about before was around just the interview mocks, like just the putting in that mock time and working with our coaches and just getting that under your belt so you're comfortable and conveying your narrative clearly. I'm wondering if you could speak a little bit about what role that played as far as your own interview performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I think which you guys also suggest that, hey, if you are getting consistent hire, a strong hire, then you should be confident enough to think that, hey, you would crack this interview. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
that happened for me also. Like, I was going initially through, I mean, with my coaches, all these mocks, be it behavioral or design related. So initially, obviously, as I was kind of picking up, those mocks were kind of either lean hire, no hire. But slowly, as I kind of started preparing, putting up those efforts, slowly no hire became lean hire became higher, and some of the conditions were strong hire. So I think those are very much interrelated or directly proportional to
Mm-hmm.
how you perform as a candidate during actual job interview. So
Yeah.
that is very important. And some of the feedback that the coaches gave, I think that was very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say in one of the examples, I can tell you, I I won't take that coach's name, but he like I I bumped my Amazon interview, okay, and it
Mm-hmm.
went so well.
Mm-hmm.
And after the interview, I practiced with my coach, right? That, hey, this was the answers that I gave, and he said that, Anirban, you missed one point, and
Mm-hmm.
could be one of the reason that you could be won't get, and that really happened. So that this was the importance of the
Right.
feedback that the that the coach gave it to me. So I think it's very important
Mm-hmm.
that take those mock interviews very seriously. And also another thing which helped, which Shobit actually said, that, hey, before your mock, you prepare. So that's the 33%. Next 33% is basically taking in the feedback, right? And also
Right.
last 33%, or whatever, the last 34%, get those recordings, view, like see by yourself, like how you are speaking, like what
Mm-hmm.
are your body movements, how your hand movements, how you are perceiving yourself, right, during the mock. I think is very important. So these
Yeah.
three things is
Cool.
very important, and I think those were some of the things that the coaches helped me get better iteratively.
Yeah, that's really helpful insight and just understanding, how does it directly, how does the stuff that's available in the course directly translate into your interviews? I guess just to bring it all together, how would you describe the intentional job search program in your own words?
Yeah, sure. I would say, as it says, it's intentional. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
intentional. If you are in a job, then and you're looking for a change, you have to be intentional. If you're not in a job, you're automatically driven by
Yeah.
intensity. But I would say the curriculum gives you a very strategic, methodic approach to
Hmm.
get to to the next level. And there is no shortcut to it. You have to keep practicing and get better out of it, because some people maybe are, I mean, some people's characteristics are like, they are very good in interviews, so they may
Hmm.
say 100 hours, but you have to put in, say, 200 hours, or maybe 300 hours. For some it's 300 hours. So I think the program really helps you go to your ultimate goal. It's
Hmm.
like whether you are taking 100 hours or 500 hours, doesn't matter. But
Right.
your coaches are with you so that you get to the destination that you are looking for. Ultimately, it's a very strategic, very helpful, very kind of friendly environment, which basically helps you get to your destination.
Yeah, and in your case, multiple offers, breaking into AML, good destination, as I would say. Well, this has been really helpful. I really appreciate it. Anything else that you'd love to share with people watching?
No, I think three things I would say: that, mindset, putting in the effort, and also finding the right set of cohorts so that you can discuss your strategies, is something I would say is the key. And also another thing is, reading about external blogs, like what are the very popular bloggers, or say vloggers are doing.
Hmm.
I think reading those, listening to those, is something would kind of make you as a better product manager.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Well, Anirban, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time. I wish you all the best in your next role and yeah, all the success.
Yep.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, Sam.